Hello everyone and welcome back to the RealPositiveGirl podcast. Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope that you're having a fantastic day, and whether your day is just beginning, in the middle, or towards the end, I hope that it's just going really well and that anything that is getting in your way, you're able to continue to push through and persevere, because I feel like perseverance is one of the key things that we need to always have in life. I feel like we too easily give up or let things stall us out and get in our way and prevent us from taking the time to actually problem solve, to actually figure out why we are letting ourselves get hung up, and then moving forward and continuing on with our lives. So again, I hope that you're having a great day. Just a reminder to take the 5-minute reset if you are not having a good day. Again, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end of the day, or whether you've already done it already. And if you are unfamiliar with the 5-minute reset, that is when you take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself. Take more time if you have more time, but take at least 5 minutes to be by yourself, to just kind of release any stress, anxiety, anger, problems that you have like looming over you or on your shoulders. Just kind of like let it go and release it. Take a break from it. Make a quick list of at least 4 things that you're grateful for, and those can be big things, small things, medium things. If you could be grateful for spending time with your friends, with your pets, being able to sleep in a little bit longer this morning, being able to take a day off of work, being grateful for having a job. And it doesn't matter what it is, just make sure you make a list of at least 4 things to be grateful for. Also, if you have the opportunity, take the time to problem solve whatever is getting in your way, whatever is causing you trouble, whatever is stressing you out. And last but not least, make sure that when you do leave the 5-minute reset time, when you have come back to baseline and reset and kind of de-stressed a bit and are wanting to go back to your day, make sure that you walk away feeling at least neutral, if not positive, about the rest of your day. Because, by letting things go, kind of just taking the time to de-stress, but also making that gratitude list, it's a good reminder to become more humbled and change your mindset and realize that despite what you're going through, there are still so many things that you have to be grateful for in this world and that you can be happy about. So that is what the 5-minute reset is all about. But I do hope that you actually are having a fantastic day and that you don't necessarily have to take the time to do that. Just a reminder that this week on the podcast, we were talking about how to have the best week ever. And today, Wednesday, we are going to talk about considering your nutrition and health. And I think that this episode's going to be a shorter one because I feel like it's a pretty open and shut kind of discussion about nutrition and the importance of making sure that is highlighted in your life, make sure it's put towards the forefront, make sure that it's actually paid attention to. And yeah, but let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, I know that I am focusing on how to have the best week ever for this week's topic, but I also want to lean into why nutrition and health in regards to your mental health are super important to how you can have the best week ever, because nutrition and exercise and how you treat your body as a whole really plays a part in how you'll be able to get through your week, how you'll be able to deal with any problems, any problem solving, any troubles, any issues that you will have to overcome. It also will, it's your whole body. Like, it's the thing that's literally carrying you through the whole week. It's your brain, helping your brain to focus, helping your body to get up in the morning, to have the energy to get through the day, all those kind of things. So let's start with talking about exercise. Exercise releases so many chemicals in the brain that benefits your mental health, including endorphins, which helps with overall happiness. And I believe that a lot of us just genuinely want to be happy. I'm not saying over the top happiness, but general happiness is always a positive. In addition to that, it also increases the release of, and I hope I don't butcher this, it also increases the release of norepinephrine, which controls and alleviates stress. And so by all means, even if, and when I say exercise, and I'm not saying that you have to go to the gym and necessarily be into weightlifting or resistance training, any of those things. I love those things. I find them so super satisfying, fulfilling, and fun. But if you're not into that, you could easily just take your dog on a walk or go fast walking with friends. Maybe you prefer to jog. Maybe you prefer to do dance videos. Maybe you prefer to do do HIIT training or whatever it is, or follow workouts online. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as you get your body moving, that counts as exercise. And that can lead to having better mental health and alleviating stress. And not only does exercise help with stress, it also helps with anxiety, your quality of sleep, ability to relax, cognitive function, and self-confidence. And, I personally struggle with many of those things. And so it's actually the reason why my doctor and I have talked a lot about how nutrition needs to be an important part of my life and of my wellness care plan that we have developed together. So I encourage you to do the same. Now, let's talk about anxiety. Physical exercise can really help assist in reducing the body's reaction to anxiety and reduce the intensity of panic attacks. And, those that suffer from anxiety that start an exercise program and start to pay more attention to their body tend to respond more quickly to medication protocols and other treatments in comparison to those that do not engage in physical activity. And, I personally don't know if that necessarily is because of, just continuing to evaluate like how you're feeling, what you're doing. It also could be like the chemicals in your brain like reacting to you taking care of yourself and putting it more towards the forefront and it being super important to you. But then those protocols, those medication protocols, those treatments just start working more. And, some people might say it's like a placebo effect. And even if it is, I would say in general, if it's helping to alleviate anxiety and reduce panic attacks, that's amazing. And that's definitely something that I strive for because I super suffer from anxiety and panic attacks and depression in general. So that is actually one of the reasons why I try to push myself to continually exercise, even though I really do enjoy exercise. But there's definitely been periods of time, like I feel like I'm kind of in one of those periods right now where I'm not necessarily enjoying going to exercise, but doing it anyway because I know it's very beneficial for my mental health, specifically my anxiety. And so I just want you to really think about, like, if you struggle with anxiety or panic attacks or anything like that, consider just getting some movement in, just starting, even like I said, even walking. And walking, a lot of people have proven that walking can help with weight loss and other cardiovascular benefits. So if you are looking to do something that will also have those additional benefits of weight loss and cardiovascular benefits, then I would encourage you to just start walking. You might not feel like it's super beneficial or it's doing anything, but actually it is. It's doing so much. And you don't even necessarily have to count your steps or anything. I would say just get out there, walk, listen to a podcast, listen to music, walk with a friend, walk with your dog, do all those things at once, and just really enjoy your time while you are definitely doing something for your mind. And in regards to your quality of sleep, whether you have any mental health issues or not, working out and eating right can really help you sleep better and wake up more restful. Expending extra energy in your body in some form of exercise can help with your quality of sleep and improve your circadian rhythm. The more energy you expend, the more time your body requires repair and re-energizing time, of course, because you're breaking it down consistently. And so it needs to be able to repair itself and re-energize and, have its own time to come back to baseline. Also, by releasing stress through exercise, it will help you sleep longer through the night. And that is actually something that I struggle with. I take like medicinal herbs and stuff like that to help me to sleep longer through the night. And my doctor is very behind me exercising more and more to sleep better through the night. There's definitely other things that are kind of upsetting that pattern of sleep for me, but I do notice that when I do exercise on the regular consistently, that it does help with my sleep patterns and being able to fall asleep a lot easier, stay asleep a little bit longer, and just feel more refreshed when I wake up in the morning, even if it was a really tough workout, and even if I work out at night. So that's definitely something to consider if you do struggle with your sleep quality. Just make sure that you're eating things that make your body feel good, and also getting out there and exercising and getting your body moving. Research shows that cardiovascular activity can help form new brain cells and boost protein levels, which is responsible for learning and decision making. this is how exercise contributes to better cognitive function. And it's just like, who doesn't want to be able to focus better? Who doesn't want to be able to make decisions better? Who doesn't want to be able to like think clearer and quicker and be able to apply their brain to whatever they're doing more effectively? Like, who doesn't want those benefits? So I encourage you to spend the time putting in a little of exercise time, putting in a little bit of body movement so that you can help to boost those brain cells, create new brain cells, boost those protein levels, and just do yourself a favor. You're literally helping yourself grow and become better by just even going for a walk. So just consider that, or even doing a fun like workout class. You might think that you're doing something that it's only just helping you look good on the outside, but it's benefiting so many things on the inside. And I feel like it's pretty easy to see how exercise benefits self-confidence. Obviously, while you are getting physically healthier, like on the outside, like I was just talking about, you will notice your body becoming stronger and more fit, which will bring more confidence. But also, you will have the satisfaction of knowing you are doing all these amazing things for your body, which will also make you feel good about yourself. Because I feel like in every podcast that I talk about doing exercise or anything like that, I always talk about how there is this appreciation for yourself, this satisfaction. You feel so accomplished after you do a workout, every single one. Even if it's like a half an hour walk, whether you're doing, you're following along with some Instagrammers workout for the day, you find a video on YouTube, you go to a CrossFit class, you go to a step class, you just go to the gym and do your routine. You just feel so accomplished. You feel like so good about yourself. You took the time to do that. You prioritized your physical health above other things that you could have been doing instead that weren't necessarily giving back to your body or your mind or anything else beneficial to your overall health and life. You took the time to actually work out and help yourself become better. And so that in addition to, looking better on the outside, seeing yourself become healthier, even if you don't necessarily have a bunch of weight to lose, maybe you just want to tone up, or maybe you just want to put some muscle on, or maybe you just want to improve your cardiovascular health by being able to run longer, faster, and, not feel like you're huffing and puffing when you're going up the stairs in your home. Like, I get it. I totally get that. So, I just want you to remember that just putting in that little bit of effort, and I feel like it's only a little bit if we're talking about just like walking, is so beneficial, more than you even think if right now you're thinking, wow, I didn't even realize that. So give it a thought. Now, in regards to nutrition, having a healthy diet can really help stabilize mental health. And of course, that diet is going to look different for everyone, but here are some good eating habit ideas to throw into your own personal plan. Remember to eat regularly throughout the day, incorporate healthy fats and omega-3s, watch your refined sugar intake, which can easily cause dips in your mood, so that's why I mentioned the refined sugar. Eat protein, and I think it's really helpful to have protein first thing in the morning because it will keep you fuller for longer, which is helpful because if you do struggle with eating more than you should, or you are trying to cut back because you want to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, that is super important. And protein helps your brain have all the neurotransmitters you need to help your entire body function properly. And as always, drink plenty of water. All of these tips are probably things that you've heard before, and I just want to reiterate them. And I never said, I never said that I was coming up with new information. I always talk about how I'm not here to reinvent the wheel, but I'm here to encourage you to do the things that are best for your mind and for your body. And so, yes, incorporate fats. I was taught that if you do that in the morning, it can really help, especially for women, it can really help boost your mood and get your brain going for the day. And my doctor always talks about how I really need to eat protein in the morning and how it is super important for me to get a good start for the day. And so I desperately fail at this a lot, but I continue to try to get protein in my diet in the morning from the get-go. Literally, since starting to work from home full time, I have struggled to eat the way that I would like to eat. And that's not necessarily to say that I snack all day. It's more of like I don't eat at the right times, or I wait too long to eat and then I get super hungry and I eat more than I should in that moment, and then I don't feel well, and then, I just don't get around to getting my meals at the proper time, so I need to get on a better routine. That was a tangent. But if anyone else is struggling with that, then I hear you. I hear you on that. But nutrition is just integral to just feeling good in general. If you eat what your body needs to function and thrive, you will be on your way to having the best day and week ever. And I do want to reiterate again, in regards to nutrition, I'm not a nutritionist. I am not a dietitian. I don't really know anything about nutrition. I don't. I struggle with it myself. But these tips that I have researched seem like the ones that are always handed out by professionals, by people that have actually taken the time to do deep research into these topics. And I'm just here to remind you of the things that I've been told, that I have learned, that I have researched, and that have worked for me. And so I do want to reiterate though, with your diet, and by diet, I don't necessarily mean like a weight loss diet. I just mean like whatever lifestyle of eating that you do has to fit who you are. I wholly believe that there are diets out there where people tell you what to eat and how to eat and do that. And yeah, those definitely can work for a lot of people, but I always feel like you're going to have to tweak it for it to fit best for you. And so that's why I want to reiterate that. Like, I'm giving you these tips, but you need to figure out how to make them work best for you so that you can continue to live your life and thrive and become the best person that you can be, have the best week that you can, but by your standards and by the way that will work best for you. And there will be times where you have to do things you don't necessarily want to, that will be a little bit harder. I get that, but also you do need to make it work for yourself and not bend over backwards and come so close to like hurting yourself or stepping over your own boundary line to do something that you think might be helpful for you, and really it's actually damaging you in the end. I hope all of that made sense. But again, it's important when you want to have the best week ever to think about putting in some time to move your body, get some exercise in, plan it out. I do encourage you to plan it out in your calendar ahead of time. Say on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to go walking, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I like to go to the gym at whatever time, and these are the workouts that I'm going to do. If you know your workout split, whatever it's going to be, plan it out. Your nutrition, I find that when I do plan out my meals for the whole week ahead of time, it's so much easier to shop. I don't buy as much crap at the grocery store, and I don't overspend. I know what I'm going to make. I'm able to prep if I need to, so I'm not like running around with my head cut off figuring out what I'm going to eat and just eating something silly like a bag of popcorn, which I feel like is my default. So if you're able to plan things out ahead of time, that is so helpful. Something else that's helpful is like those meal things that come in the mail to you. I know that might be too expensive for some people. Sometimes it's too expensive for me. We haven't necessarily done that where it comes to our house, but we'll buy them like at stores and they come in a meal kit and plan to make that ahead. So if you can do that, that's super helpful. But those things will definitely make you contribute to you having the best week ever, because it'll just make it easier because you're already planning ahead and you're doing those things, and you know that you're doing those things and really helping yourself out, helping yourself feel healthy, helping yourself be stronger, helping yourself live longer to enjoy life even more. So I just encourage you to keep your nutrition and exercise, physical health in mind when you're planning to have the best week ever. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. My name is Sabrina. I so appreciate you coming back and listening to another episode. I hope that you really enjoyed it. I personally feel like this episode was a little bit jumbled. I don't know why. I apologize if it seemed that way, but I hope that you still got some really helpful information, that it was actually worth you listening to it. And if you really did enjoy it and you know someone else that would, I encourage you to share with someone else. Please check the description box for notes for the show, where to find me on Instagram, which is at Sabrina Joy Perozzo. Visit my website at sabrinajoy.com, and then also my email address is down there to send me questions, comments, concerns, or prayer requests. I hope that I see you for the next episodes for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we are actually, here's a sneak peek. Tomorrow, we are actually talking about mental health in regards to having the best week ever. So I hope that you come back and listen to that. But until next time, have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.